poor trapped souls, dragged to a foreign land, surrounded by the mists. What do you seek here? Knowledge, honor, revenge. You clutch onto steel and faith, but you are far from the sight of your God. Know this. He is the ancient. He is the land. And you are trespassing. You guys all is this crazy gold room that ignites all of you. You guys all turn towards it. And Dragar, you guys are all distracted by that room. As you guys are all looking at this in the split second. Dragar, there's this woman off to the side of the cavern.
Always a woman.
And she is in this beautiful, perky as hell wedding dress. And she's just looking at you. She has red hair.
Well, you could definitely do
She's
your
like the sexiest
Yeah. I go and walk
female
towards
you've
her.
ever seen.
I go walk towards her like,
And she goes like this, and you guys there's this scene of Dragar just like walking towards.
Dude, it's a trap!
And then you have like a split series thought, like your card from Madame Eva. She was right. The Temptress, as Dragar and this super sexy woman walk into a portal of shadows. As it closes.
But and we don't even notice this, right?
None of you guys saw that. Dragar's gone.
He's gone.
You guys are now in this huge square
It's
room.
always him.
Full of flesh.
No, it's gold.
Oh my
Full
god,
of
I was
gold.
thinking of the golem that turned to flesh.
That was behind you. In this new room is a coffin.
Great.
Right in the center of the room. And it's made of gold. And this whole room is made of gold. And it's protected by an ancient wall with runes on it. And all these kind of pictures.
What?
As you guys walk in, your guys' boots click clack
Translucent wall?
and echo. No, it's made of gold.
So
Dude,
inside the
did
wall
the ruin
is
say anything?
gold? So we'd only be able to see the wall.
Did the ruin
So
say
you guys walk in,
anything?
it's like a square room, all the walls just everything's just gold.
Right, but I was saying we wouldn't be able to see in the center because there's walls.
Does the ruin...
No, like
Do the
you guys
ruins
walked
say
in, here's the wall.
Yeah, but you said the coffin was protected by
The
runes?
coffin is right in the middle of the
And
room.
then you said there was walls around the coffin.
There's walls around the room.
Right, because it's a room.
Yes. And the walls are gold.
Correct.
And there's runes on there?
Yes, and like all these crazy old portraits and pictures of
Okay.
various humanoids in various
Like Pharaoh?
positions. Kind of, but no.
Can I have a date? Can I, like, have one of those other things like I did with the other portraits?
The what?
What?
What are you talking about?
Like that daydream kind of thing?
Can you have a daydream?
It's just like,
You try to- you-
That's what you get for making dreams and things.
You
a part of
just
your
tap
shit.
in to
That's
the
what
dream
you
world,
get.
and you feel. You start meditating. Trevor sits there and meditates.
He's just quiet for the
I have
next
the dream world. I have
20,
the dream world.
20, 30
I'm
minutes.
a Dukar.
we're never going to hear the end of that, I'm sure.
I'm a dookie.
Trevor, you get this vision of a man talking with Madame Eva. He has Dragar, go ahead and describe what Klaus looks like.
Very
Just a
much,
brief, real quick, because you'll describe him again.
He was
Like a back view.
Think of a nobleman, very elegant, very illiterate, long blonde hair.
Illiterate?
I can't even. fucking say.
Illustrious.
Thank you. Illustrious, very noble.
Looks like I'm just guessing.
Probably also illiterate.
As most
Noble that
noblemen
can't
are.
read.
Anyway,
I mean, I've
and we
heard
just see
weirder.
this long hair
Yeah.
Okay.
from the back view of this man.
Yes.
He leaves Madame Eva's and is looking at a couple of cards. And he walks off into the mists where he sees this little baby. And this woman looks up at him and then runs off into the mist, leaving this baby. This man walks up and he kneels down. And when he kneels down, you guys can see his fangs in his mouth. And he picks up this baby. And he looks up and you can see this face of a man named Klaus. He stands up and runs off into the mist. Then you see him hand the baby to a ship. And it goes off into the ocean. And he walks back into the mist. And that's your vision, Trefor. Trefor sort of opens his eyes after having that vision. And you guys are just in this tome.
Alright, I'm
You
gonna
guys
just
hear
start...
Trefor say Klaus.
Yeah, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna keep going.
Klaus who? I'm not ready to share. Says Trevor.
I'm gonna walk towards the tomb.
Kellen, you're walking up and you walk past Trefor, who's in meditative stance.
Yeah, I don't even give a shit. I'm
And
just gonna keep going.
whispers Klaus over and over.
I
As
already
you
asked
walk
him
up
what
to
Klaus is.
as you walk up to this coffin, it's like smooth to the touch. And it's cold.
Klaus.
And
Santa
you're-
Claus?
Now you're at this tomb.
I stand up, I go to the coffin, touch it, and say Klaus.
You see this.
Yeah.
Trefor sort of like caressing the tomb
Yeah.
and saying, just keep repeating the name Klaus.
Right.
I just touch it and say Klaus.
Then you get another vision. You were that baby.
What?
Klaus.
Long ago, Klaus, this Klaus,
This clown.
found you in the mist and dropped you off in Faerun, where you lived.
I was here.
This
When
man,
I love you.
this man, Trefor, runs back, and you see a series of flashes of him running down in Valaaki into the church, and then he jumps down this tunnel, and then the next scene is him rubbing his hand, just like you, across the tomb, and then he opens it, and it's this beautiful purple and gold tomb sarcophagus, and then he sits down and lays down in it and shuts it,
Klaus.
and then you're back.
Klaus. I open the tomb.
You open the tomb,
Klaus.
and there's just this man laying there, arms crossed. Go ahead and go ahead and describe what Klaus looks like, Jake.
Think of a blonde-headed, much younger version of what Strahd would look like.
He's just laying there, defenseless.
Yep.
No, vampire!
I grab his arm. No.
I
Trefor
open,
catches him.
I open my eyes.
See
Yep.
if you can catch me.
Roll against each other.
While they're rolling against each other, I pull out my scimitar. I'm gonna stab them in the center.
19, bitch. Don't matter. I already did it.
Trefor tries catching you, and your wooden stake just stabs right into this vampire, and his eyes open. And you guys lock eyes.
Klaus.
So
I was
you're a vampire, right, man?
Get the hell off of me as I push him off. Calmly, I'm like, would you
Off of
please?
who?
He
Wait,
just
where are
pushes
you?
you
You're
off.
gone.
Is he Klaus?
Yep.
I'm
I
confused
grab his
as fuck.
arm and
What
I
He
is
just
it?
pull it
pushes you.
out.
He just pushes you
What are
off.
you talking about?
What'd you say happened and the abyss is happening now?
I grab
Yeah.
Percy's arm and I just
What's
pull it
going
out.
on?
I don't know.
Klaus.
Klaus shoves you off of
Okay.
him.
With
There's
the barest
still-
of effort.
and you can't move your body, Klaus. You still have this wooden stake stuck in your body, and you're
Klaus!
paralyzed.
Tefor, assist me, child.
Klaus,
And yes, can you assist me, young child?
you saved me.
Yes, can you save me now by getting this out of my...
I grab it.
I'm sorry for the interruption. My name is Klaus Adrianus. I am the natural son of Barovia, and I have been sleeping for a long time, waiting for exuberant travelers such as yourself.
This vampire
Klaus,
sits up
you saved my life.
in the tome, and you guys can see Trefor just latched onto this fool. And Guile grabs you and pushes you against the wall and says, "Do you know who this is?"
Yes. He's the one who saved my life.
"How do you know?" And he pushes you and he draws his sword and he's
I-
just staring at
I
you.
look at him.
I have the
What do you
power
want,
to the
bad
dream
boy?
wo- I have the power to the dream world.
And I look at
I
you.
had a flash of my backstory. Klaus is the one who saved me. He brought me to Faerun, where you found me.
Calm down. Put your
I
sword
thought
away,
I was
little
born
wolf.
in Faerun. I know the truth now. He saved my life. My mother was killed.
Callan and Percy, how do you react?
I don't know, because I don't know what the fuck's going on,
I don't
dude.
either.
Like, I really don't. I'm just gonna step back and just watch. Like, I don't know. I honest to God don't know.
There's literally just this vampire now. He's pretty tall, bulky.
Okay.
And he's just sitting there having just talking to Trefor as if they're best friends.
Okay.
It's kind of the weirdest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, I'm super confused.
Allow me to make a proper introduction. I was born here many years ago. I saved your young compatriot here when his mother was fading to the mists. It was a long time ago. A child was destined to become the end of the Vistani, and I just paused for a moment. The sins of the father should never reflect that unto the son. So I took him to the mists. It almost cost me my life and weakened me a great deal to drag him through the realms in which I could not reign.
So this isn't Dragar, right?
No,
Okay.
this is a Klaus Adrianus, and I can understand
Percy.
your compatriot's reaction. I am vampire, but I am not like the ones you've probably already encountered in this world. I am
I know you're
a half-breed.
You've saved me. I could never repay that.
Well, you were never supposed to come back here. But fate is a cruel seamstress, it would seem. There was a fate foretold that those who would free me would help bring about the end of the devil. Is that what your mission is here,
Yes.
adventurers?
Yes.
I can tell by your auras that, minus the child, you're all from a different realm, different realms. Dragged here by the mists as I had transferred the child.
Yeah. Showed up out of nowhere.
And I can also see you've been each affected differently by this realm. Your arm, the feathers that bind you now to this world. Even your delightful bard has been touched by death more so here than his previous realm. As you, Tefor, have come back what destiny I had tried to rot.
And Klaus, you recognize this boy, his aura, as the same young Vistani child.
That I rescued years ago.
The odds of you two meeting back up. Klaus is a vampire. He's been long awaiting under the church of St. Andral for adventurers foretold by Madame Eva of the destruction of the devil. And Klaus joins the party.
So you're gonna play as Klaus now?
Yeah.
And Dragar?
Yeah, but this is we're gonna have something similar to what you did with,
Jazz.
yeah, basically. This has been a long time coming. Like, Klaus was my original first
Klaus,
character.
you turn and you just put your hand up and the stone just drops, and there's a staircase going up.
And I make one more comment. What happened to the warrior who was with you?
Delphi?
Who?
Rhaegar?
Yeah,
Who's still with us?
I sense that an energy.
You
You guys all turn around, and Dragar's gone. Don't see him.
I sense that there was.
Percy's
an
just
energy
like
here.
sitting there rubbing his temples, like,
There was an energy here. I smell
Sure,
magic.
whoever's with us is with us. Let's
Jake's
continue.
always with the. Okay, Dragar's always with the girls, first of all.
Yeah,
Every time we run into a girl, he's always like, "Sir."
well, this land is full of temptations, both of women
So
and
probably a
gentlemen.
girl could have dragged him off.
Yes,
Yep.
whatever
Right on
happened,
money.
the magic is gone. So your compatriot was not, still lives, but he is gone.
Well, that's a shame.
Alright. So what do you guys do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do
Should
you,
I lead you-
do you want to converse with your new party member?
Sure.
Do you trust this vampire that you just
Uh,
buried from the
I-
bottom of this church?
I
Just
can trust
because-
him with my life.
Just because one of your companions acts like he knows this man. A
I
vampire that obviously you guys know has something to do with Strahd.
Well, I don't trust vampires. And I walk off.
James, can I like cast the dream world into the actual world? Or like bring someone with me?
No.
You ain't that good yet, Karen. Would you like to know
Percy,
the
you
way
just
out?
walk off.
Would you like to know the way out, Bard?
I left.
There's like these stairs. And do you walk out the stairs?
Yep.
Okay, you walk out the stairs into this super dark tunnel
Mm-hmm.
that has all these twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
You turn left, you turn right, you go down and up. Seems like you're walking backwards.
Oh.
And then you are now in a small maze of tunnels
Shit.
underground. And it's pitch black as now you're like kind of feeling.
Go back.
Cast gaseous form and seep up through the soil up to the top ground of Valaaki.
Okay,
That-
Percy just turns into gaseous form
Yep.
and soaks up. And you can see that he just slowly starts soaking up through the soil as we cut to you guys. You guys are just kind of standing there, still in the chamber.
We wouldn't like to know the way out.
I'm gonna just follow these two.
I'll lead the way as I take them through the tunnels.
And Klaus, you know the way to go.
Yeah.
A small defense that you put in for any wanderers. You guys pop out of the tavern. The Dry Creek Tavern.
Yeah.
You guys pop out in the tavern.
Yeah.
We cut back to Percy. What do you guys do once you're in the tavern?
I go up to the bartender and I immediately ask for a room so I can get some rest, so I can identify the small lockbox, and then I'm gonna heal up, and then I'm gonna read the rest of this
Okay, 25 gold.
tome. That's fine. 25 gold.
You guys see Callan walk up to this place and get a room. What do you guys do?
I am going to be like, young child, you should go find your bard. The city isn't safe for ones who are like him. So you should go find him.
Like him? What do you mean?
Find him.
You said
Magic.
like him.
Magic users.
Hmm.
Trevor, what do you do?
As I'm going to portray
As
this.
you realize that, again, you let an unknown being into your party. And now you look and you see Callan drinking, probably, and walking upstairs into his own room. What do you do?
I'm not losing a friend. Lost me.
Yes, find him.
I'm going after Percy, even if I get eaten. If it takes my life
Oh, it
to
will.
save another, I will.
It might.
Trevor walks out the door.
And then I just work my way back outside because I don't need to be in a tavern. And I kind of just scout. I work my way to an alley, kind of staying close to where I can see him. And you're obviously in the thing, so I know where you're at.
Yeah, I'm checked out.
Yeah, so I wait till I'm out of sight so nobody can see me, and then you just see me slowly as I go into the shadow. 1 second I walk into the shadow, next thing you just see this bat flume out to slowly track him up from above high just to pierce and see what I can see. And it's I'm
We
assuming
cut to
it's night.
Trefor.
It's night, right?
It's getting later in the day.
Okay, so I'm still good. Bats will become out.
There's
later.
no sun, anyway.
Okay, so yeah, so it's Barovia.
Yeah.
Bats and crows are the daily dose.
But you still keep to the shadows.
Of course.
As a bat, you can see flying over the cityscape, keeping an eye on Trefor.
Mm-hmm.
We zoom in on Trefor, who bursts out of this tavern, kind of breathing heavily and looking into the city streets. What do you do?
Start going after Percy.
You look around and there's people everywhere. You have no idea where Percy is, or would be.
Don't even know what Percy is.
Knowing Percy, he would probably be out.
And you can see Trefor just take off into the crowd as we
No.
cut to Percy.
Knowing Percy, he would probably be out drinking.
Percy,
Mm-hmm.
your physical being gets through to the surface.
Mm-hmm.
You pop up, and in gaseous form, you're on the side. You're like on the side of a house
Mm-hmm.
in like a backyard. As you sort of pop back into existence, you're in this backyard and you're sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
I guess just float around the city and see if I can gain enough intel to figure out where the Baron sleeps.
Okay, you walk around.
No, still in gaseous form. Like I'm just floating around listening.
Oh, and as you fly throughout the city in
Mhm.
gaseous form,
Okay.
you hear random people talking, and eventually come up to two people, a man and a woman,
Mm-hmm.
saying, "The burgomaster, Baron Vargas Valakovich, has decreed that the festival of the Blazing Sun will be held in the town square tonight. The previous festival, which he called the Wolf's Head Jamboree, was less than a week ago."
Mm. Oh, that's all they say?
Yep.
They don't say like where he sleeps or anything.
That's all you heard him say.
Can he talk as a gas?
Currently you're in N3, I don't think so.
So I know N1 is the church or whatever, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I know N5 is like that other inn we weren't allowed in.
No, that'd be
Oh.
N2.
Okay.
The other inn is like right next to N1.
Got it. So I'll check out the center of town. See if I can maybe find like a fancy looking building. Maybe something that maybe like, you know, someone of value that'd be sleeping in.
Okay, you fly around and something catches your eye. This mansion off to the left has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect.
Mm-hmm.
Drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors. And it says Burgomaster's Mansion.
And it's like nighttime?
It's getting there.
Okay.
It's like Twilight, basically.
Ooh.
Float up to the second story
Okay.
and try and look inside some windows.
Okay, you just pick a random window?
Yeah.
There's 4. Which one do you choose? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Okay. You're sort of floating through this up to this huge building,
Uh-huh.
and a energy catches your eye.
Mm-hmm.
A series of green, then blue, yellow, red lights from this window, and as you fly towards it,
Mm-hmm. What do I see inside?
you peek in. This handsomely appointed room contains a canopied bed, a low bookshelf, and a full-length mirror in a wooden frame on the wall across from the door. In the middle of this room is a man at an alchemist's table, pouring various liquids back and forth as yellow, green puffs with every pour. As you start peeking in through this window. He like
Gaseous
sort of
form.
notices
Yeah.
and like looks towards the window. He's like this man, probably early 30s. He's balding and he has a long goatee.
Mm-hmm.
And he has big old glasses that has multiple densities on it. And he goes up and shuts the window
Yeah.
with the blinds.
As he does that, I kind of like just slink under the window, like through the cracks, like in gas form.
Uh-huh.
Slowly filter into the room. Kind of caress up near his head, and I like want to enter his ears in gas form.
As you start entering, this man's ear, he like starts waving it out.
Yeah, and I start in gas form, like whispering in his ear, like, "Hello, Baron. I know it's you, Baron.
He's looking around. Not the Baron.
Well, what is your Baron name?
Reveal yourself.
That's not an option, my friend." As I keep whispering, "I'm your thoughts. I'm your god. Now where's your Baron?"
My father.
Yes. Now where is he?
Are you in a Hira?
Of course I am.
I told you to stay away from here.
Cannot stay away.
But I've done what you've asked me.
Never enough. Now where's
She's
your
with
father?
Bluto, I promise.
Yes. Now where's your father, dear youngling?
Downstairs.
I just filter away from him.
And out his door.
Under the cracks.
Callan,
Huh.
Yeah?
you sort of sling all your shit onto the bed and like sit down on the bed. And you actually kind of feel at home here in this tavern.
Yeah.
It is pretty cold in here though, because there's a window with no glass pane in it, literally.
Okay.
So it's just wide open to the environment. But other than that, you have like this old squeaky bed sitting there.
I plot myself right down, like, up against the bed. I set the little lockbox in front of me, and I begin to try and unlock it.
Start tinkering with this lock, and you start to figure it out with your thieves' tools.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll thieves' tools.
Shit, I really need a dice tray. 19 plus 5, so it's like 24.
Okay. As you slide in with your thieves' tools and hit it correctly and hit the right tink, it pops open, and this yellow gas sprays all up into your face. And I need a con save from you.
Alright, come on, buddy. Probably gonna be knocked the fuck out. Where's my concept? Push one? Okay.
And this is your own trap I'm using against you.
Roll it.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. I remember coming up with that. A 4 plus 1, so that's a 5.
Your vision slowly begins to fade and fade as you're completely confused.
I have no idea who the
And-
fuck I am for an hour.
And you have no idea what's going on. And we just cut to basically Callan just tripping out in his own room by himself. And he just like, ah! And is like terrified and starts attacking the wall as we zoom out.
Shit. Glad I came up with that.
What do we find Klaus and Trefor doing?
What's he doing?
Yeah.
I'm still in the sky, just kind of looming.
Yep. We zoom out to a bat flying over the city. Trefor? Trefor, what do you do? You come up to the same... You just sort of wandered around town. You didn't really know. Nobody really caught your eyes. But that wagon that you guys were at, you had you remembered... Oh yeah, that cat and Rictavia, the half-elf.
Well, look at you, Hobie.
Shrimp's good, huh? I gotcha. I love shrimp.
What do you do?
I go and find that the dude with the saber tooth.
You don't see him anywhere.
Wasn't it during
do you
the
walk-
festival?
Do you walk up to the carriage?
Yeah.
You walk up to the carriage as you like sort of looking through it, and you see that the thing is down. The door is down and open.
Saber-tooth's gone. It's loose. It's
As
killing
you sort
people.
of peer in, it's completely empty in there, besides a bunch of like random tools and stuff hanging, but you see no saber-toothed cat. And you like sort of look around on the floor, and you can see 3 paw prints walking off into the city.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, this is gonna. I love chaos.
Alrighty. I start following
You
them.
sort of turn around, and you start following these tracks. Okay, Klaus.
Kind of area.
You're just sort of watching them.
And I'm just kind of like
Back to you,
I have
Percy.
as a I just have a cocked eyebrow. I'm like, are you
What do you
fucking
do?
serious?
I float down to the bottom of the building where the boy told me his father is.
Okay.
Looking for a man that looks just like the one I just invaded his brain, but older. And I pull the same move.
Okay, so you see
Yeah.
this super old man sitting, having dinner.
Yep.
He's the Baron.
Yes.
He's in red robes, and he has a very black evil to his eye.
Oh, does he? So as I float into his brain, I cast detect magic looking for a curse or something cast upon him.
You can see there's no curse on this man, but pure evilty of his own desire. You feel this weird skeletal hand grasp at your existence and rip you out and throw you as you appear back in mortal form.
Right in front of him?
In supper.
Yeah.
You see launched into the door, and he sort of looks over. Ah, there you are. I must admit, I've been waiting for you. You are late. He turns to you. This is what he looks like. He has 2 ginormous dogs on either side of his chair, and he's just sitting there looking at him, and he's eating this chicken disgustingly. He's like has shit on his chin, and he's just like he just pops a tomato in his mouth and just explodes all down his chin, down his beard.
Yes. I've been looking forward to this meeting. This land of Barovia interests me greatly. You
Have a
may
s-
think that fear and other things may subside up inside of me at sights of such as these, but throughout my life I've seen much worse things and have made personal dealings even with them. So you and your little pooches there are of no threat. And as I say this, I kind of just casually do this with my hand, and I cast Hypnotic Pattern,
Uh-huh.
and anything in a 30-foot cube has to make a whiz save real quick.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, the dogs get a 9. Fail.
Yeah.
The Baron gets a 22.
He passes.
So,
So the dogs fail.
what happens?
They're all of a sudden charmed by me.
Okay.
So like they're both just like in my control now. Like these 2 giant like demon dogs, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, you see, you play with toys you think you know of, but I've messed with these toys for far longer.
As you
And as I laugh, and I'm not using like my scared voice at all, I'm just like kind of cackling, and I do that, and both the dogs just kind of like get on their haunches and like look at him,
uh-huh.
and just start like both slathering and like growling intensely at him. I'm like, now, if you bend me your ear, we may have a civilized talk, but otherwise, this could turn real bad for you.
He smiles.
I have no more patience anymore, my friend.
He smiles. He goes like this. Both the dogs, both their necks just break, and they fall on the ground.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Yes.
And at the very end of this 12-foot long table
Yeah.
is their only other chair,
Yeah.
and you have a seat.
When I sit,
Like, fuck.
He's just staring at you with a slight smirk that hasn't broken, and someone feeds you a plate of the same chicken. It's all gooey and doesn't look appetizing at all.
I just like smile and take like a large, like, yes, and throw it like behind me. Like, yes, that's interesting and all.
You guys just see that somebody just like come sweep it up behind you.
Now, if we'd have a word to with each other on a real level now, you could either listen or be vanquished. I have no more patience for your land, your mists, or any of your shenanigans.
He pulls back his hair, revealing like this apparatus on
Yeah.
his eye.
Yeah.
It's this crazy gold silver thing that's attached to his eye.
Okay.
My son is a bit of an artificer. I have true sight. Your form is meaningless. Break it.
And
we
as
will
he's like
commence.
talking and like talking shit, I'll like cast like simultaneously 2 spells at once. I'll cast Hunger at the same time. So like this black cloud just like surrounds him, and it like at the same time opens up this portal to another dimension, kind of like a Cthulhu-like dimension. And these tentacles pop out. Also, where I summon the power of the arms, So in combination with that, like popping out around him, I'll just have like the tentacles latch onto like both of his appendages, and then the arms grab him by the head and neck, and just kind of like have him like in wraps and everything.
A series of like this super fast like
Yeah.
octopus kraken
Just
appears out of this crazy portal.
And then, like he grabs the apparatus, breaks it off his face,
and
throws
just
it against the
crumbles
wall.
it, and it just
I'm like,
shatters.
I believe I said I have no patience for any of this.
And Percy sort of just stands up, and
Yeah.
you guys can see this look on Percy that you've never seen
well,
before.
they're not here.
Yeah,
None of them are here.
yeah,
No.
It's just me and him.
yep, and he's just sort of looking at you,
And like
frightened.
shadows just kind of start enveloping me. I'm like, once again, my friend, I don't have the patience. And with that, I just have like the tentacles and the other Cthulhu like arms like breaking through the shadows and orbs, just start ripping him to fucking pieces, like
Oh.
piece by fucking piece. Like the tentacles rips off his face, his
Oh.
jaw, and then like his arm, and then his chest.
And it just zooms into Percy's
fingers,
face,
and just
and you guys
and
can
I'm
just
like,
see this reflecting
and I'm
off
just
of
like
his
smiling,
eyes
just like
as we
yes.
cut
And
to
then-
Klaus.
But then at that time, I'll also just like cast Misty Visions and Mask of Many Faces to look exactly like the Baron,
And then
and then take his remains and sweep him into my bag.
as you guys just see Percy just smiling.
Yes.
I just kind of
Shit.
take my cloak, shrug off the
Told
blood,
you.
and just go.
So you did go with my plan.
As we cut. Trevor,
All while I was going to the bathroom.
Callan, actually, you
Yeah, but you guys
finish-
know not this even happened.
No, I
you,
know.
you finish enchanting your weapon.
Yeah, because it says right here the one I made is like
Yeah.
one round the memory loss, one round. Next time I'll make that for like 5 minutes. But
Yeah, but you're like sitting there like out of your mind right now.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
literally
You don't
had
know
this
who
crazy.
you are.
You eventually came to
okay.
and like had like this.
You're just like
session.
in an inn, like by yourself in a room.
Yeah.
Tripping
Don't even
acid.
know who you are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no one can help you or anything. 'Cause you're just sitting there like, who am I?
And like there's this huge mirror too
No, I
that you
know.
just see yourself. You were talking to yourself. We have like these series of flashes
Who
of
is
scenes
you?
of Kellen just being super fucking weird in
Yeah.
this room by himself for like hours.
Yeah.
Right.
And then eventually, Kellen, you start reading your book and you finish enchanting your sword. So what does your scimitar have now? What is its properties?
Wall guys.
Which element did you choose?
I chose cold frost.
frost.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's because like I use fire all the time. I use cold frost. So I can't remember if it shoots the frost or if
No,
it
it just does an extra damage.
It does extra damage. So if I hit with my scimitar, it does an extra 1d6.
There you go.
Cold damage. Make sure you write that down.
Boom.
I do. Yeah, cold damage 1d6, and then what was the box? It was what was inside the box?
That curse.
Oh,
The
just
curse.
the curse. Oh, just the curse.
Gotcha, bitch.
All right, and then so that's done.
So you wasted the whole day just being a fucking nanny over there.
Yep, and then went to
Awesome.
bed.
Cool.
Right?
Where am I?
And then you turn.
Ah!
After it got dark, you eventually turned in, right?
Yeah, I did all that so I could enchant the sword.
Yeah.
All right. So Callan went to bed.
Kill.
It's now dark time. Dragar, you've been following Trefor, who actually ran into. Oh yeah, Klaus. Sorry. It'll take me a second.
I know.
So Klaus, you were following Trefor, who met up with this half elf, and they ran off to the tavern. So you eventually followed them, and it's nighttime, and you walk into this tavern, and bing, there's like this weird barrier that you like walk into the tavern, and you like bing, it's
And
like a
like-
force field
And I like,
that you can't get in,
so I just like shut the door. I was like, God damn it.
and you know that you're not invited, so you can't enter this place.
So I just turn back. I just go walk around and just.
You turn around, and what do you do?
I just wait. I just kind of out of stay in the shadows. And can I see through the windows? Can I see what he's doing in the inn? Is he just drinking with the half elf, getting smashed? What?
You just like float around and start peeking in through the inn.
Yeah, just kind of
Trefor,
looming.
Plans.
in the inn, Rictavio, the half elf, leads you to his room, and he has been explaining to you
Yeah.
that he's very sorry that you lost. He could tell that you were very panicked when you ran into him, and he calmed you down and told you to come back to his room, which is right next to your guys' room in the Dry Creek Inn, because you guys weren't allowed in the Blood on the Vine Tavern. In his room, which, let me pull it up.
Oh, I'm gonna come looking to talk to the Baron and be like, yes, what do you need?
No
Not gonna know it's
idea.
me.
No, we won't. We don't. None of us do.
I'm like, yes, anything
We're all
you want.
doing our own thing.
I know, it's awesome.
It's definitely. I'm glad you kind of went with your plan earlier, along with a little of mine, and now this is better than both of ours was both
Exactly.
individually before.
Yes.
You did, yeah, you getting shit done, bro.
Yeah, dude.
You getting
Dude, you could probably search his house.
Oh, it's my house.
Yeah, he's the. Let me get this explained. He is
I'm
now
the
the Baron.
of Valaaki.
Okay.
Now you can make a turn against Strahd.
Yes.
Yes, he can do a
And
lot.
now you have an army.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry guys, I can't fucking find it.
And you can make these rules less horrible for the people who live here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any traveler is welcome.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Any magic users, please come to Valaaki. We need all of
Since
you.
we're no longer the band of traveling musicians,
But
I'm gonna slip into
one
my
rule-
black
Oh,
robe.
no,
so
now
I-
you're a fucking noble of the
The one
town.
thing
Yeah.
You don't know that.
No,
You don't know
no,
that.
we don't.
You guys are all
the
unaware.
one
No,
thing
we don't-
you
we're-
need to keep about the rules is the prison.
I guess, but at the same time, I could also be like, we want
Nothing.
magic users, and then we can get
Okay.
all magic users to ally with us.
Yep.
Alright,
Yeah.
Not like have a hang prison, just
Mhm.
have like a regular prison.
Trevor.
Okay.
Well, for troublemakers.
This small
obviously.
guest room
Obviously, Trevor
contains a
knows something
bed.
about the prison.
It contains a bed heaped with wolf
What's
furs,
in the prison?
a footlocker, a tall wardrobe, and a writing desk
He knows
with a
something.
matching chair. An oil lamp rests atop the desk near a journal bound in a red leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And this book, Trefor, is ancient looking.
What's in the prison?
What prison?
Exactly.
Saber-tooth tigers.
He's already revealed too many things.
What?
You told him something about the slaves in the prison on the one side of town, because he's like, make sure you don't forget about the prison. I'm like, what prison? He's like, there's some in the prison.
What's in the prison?
Exactly. There's some there.
Saber-tooths.
Sabertooth.
The Sabertooth escaped
He just said
the
plural.
carriage.
And no, they live in the mountains, bud. If you find them, they're rare, and they live in the mountains. No, no,
So
you
then
don't.
What are you talking about?
Wait,
There's a
is there, like,
Sabertooth in the cell.
Saber-tooth people
Yeah.
that are in the stockades?
You're
I-
ridiculous. Alright, moving
Is
on.
he ridiculous?
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, okay, so there's like were-tigers in the stockades that we can free and they'll fuck up the town. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell Trevor things, James!
Moving on.
Yep,
You guys can think whatever you want.
I know what I think.
They're
Not my
literally
fault.
just people.
I don't tell Trevor things.
They're literally just people.
Okay, yeah, for sure. You won't have a problem when my first edict is, bring me all the people in the stockades! It won't be a problem.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I was like, yep.
So, you guys find yourself in this room, and
Who?
there's a journal on to
Yeah, who's in the room?
just Trevor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was
And-
like, what?
No,
Who's in the
you're asleep, Colin.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
retarded.
like, I'm trying to
No,
like
he's
heal
retarded.
up
Yeah. And
because I don't know what's going
Oh,
on.
I just got done being high, now I have amnesia, and I'm trying to do some magic. I'm lost.
I'm gonna sleep
That's
this
where he's
off.
at.
This is an acid trip going
He's so
on.
I go to sleep.
Exactly.
okay,
Alright,
Colin, you
so-
kind of wake up, and
The
you're like,
next day.
okay, is it gone? And it's like pitch black in this room. You roll up, and you look over into this mirror, which is just you, and it's just this ugly looking you, and you're like bulk as hell, and you're like this weird raven Hulk thing,
Oh,
and just
shit.
staring back at each other. You're like, and I'm not done tripping, and you just try to force yourself to go back to sleep,
And it's not done.
and you just you're just, and then we cut.
Oh yeah, you also have a Curse of the Raven, and you just got amnesia trapped, and
So
all
you're
that
kind
other
of
shit.
tripping as bad as
So
possible.
you were high, got cursed, and amnesia trapped.
And now your curse is showing.
You're
Welcome to
mentally
Barovia.
It's
fucked.
like, ah!
Next
falling-
stop, insane
I
asylum.
was like, yeah, the next day he's gonna be like, Ravens.
Okay,
Ravens, I love ravens.
I've brought you here, young one, to